Bye-bye, Jack.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me?
John Taman.
Pull down my trousers and do your job.
Scott Hartley.
Well, that was dreadful.
And occasionally, Keith Gregg.
So many social engagements, so little time.
And now, your host.
Hey, that's me. I'm your host. My name is John Taman, and I'm copying a link to send over to Scotty right now. So hang on 1 second, because we're down a man. We can't go too far without our English friend. Keith, we're used to him not being here. And the fact that it is Friday, oh, there he is. There's our friend. What's up, Scott? Before I say what's up to you, Scott, what's up with you, Jessy? Hey, I even pointed in the right direction. And let me just compliment you on your cool fucking hipster hat.
Yeah, I was trying to be a little hippie today. I didn't shave, I didn't shower.
You look like you should be in the middle of the street protesting the World Bank or something.
Yeah, that's it.
All right,
he's on an environmental peace protest with Greta Thunberg.
And they're making environmental jokes down there. My good friend, and straight from his shift at McDonald's, Scott Hartley.
Absolutely.
How are you there? So when you guys go to McDonald's and you want like a quarter pounder with cheese, do you have to order like a quarter stone with cheese or like an eighth stone with cheese, please?
No, we do have quarter pounders with cheese. We've took that from you guys, but at the same time, we do have a Big Mac also.
You got a Big Mac.
Also at the same time,
that's all right. So that's where Scotland is, and I mean, I bet they think that they're pretty proud of that.
I'll eat Big Mac.
Mac, hey, it is named after us. All right, so hey man, we had a very bad football game yesterday. First, we'll get on with the pleasantries instead of the football game. How was your Thanksgiving, Jessy? I saw that white ass turkey that you put out first thing in the morning on your pregame. Let's give us the pre-shot. How was the turkey afterwards?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, I'm a good cook, so
yeah, you'll make somebody a nice wife someday.
Yeah. I don't eat turkey. I mean, I'll have a little bit of dark meat. I think it's dirty meat. It's dirty bird. But
you're all birds. All birds are dirty, for God's sakes. You ever watch a bald eagle? They're so majestic and regal while they're digging in the fucking dumpsters.
There's a reason why people only eat turkey once a year, and it's not because it's a delicacy. It's disgusting.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
You're right, John. All birds are dirty. You should see some of the seagulls around here. They're bench pressing dogs whilst eating our bins. I swear they can bench press more than me. Massive. Could maybe play middle linebacker. I don't know.
We used to call pigeons and fucking seagulls welfare birds because they just hung out and ate off the fucking trash of everybody else. But speaking of eating off the trash of everybody else, Jack Del Rio's gone. That's nice. We got the shit kicked out of us yesterday. It took a 35-point loss to the Cowboys for Ron to finally go, maybe we should change something up nowadays. There you go.
That's exactly how the game went.
That is fresh. And I gotta hand it to you. Not only did you put that microphone right down in your ass and do that, you brought it right back up and stuck your mouth on it.
I was gonna say your breath must smell like shit now, Jessy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You never know what you're going to get here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. The one thing that you can expect is it will not be professional in any way whatsoever.
Never.
No,
so we do have a big episode today. We're gonna talk about the game yesterday for whatever goddamn reason. For whatever reason there is to talk about it. We're gonna talk about Jack Del Rio being fired. We're gonna talk about this defensive backs coach whose name
Wiesemeyer.
Is it Vesselmeyer or Wiesemeyer?
Wiesemeyer. It's funny.
You figure it out because I'm gonna make something here. I gotta make something here.
Yeah, it's Brent Wiesemeyer.
Wiesemeyer.
Burroughs had a hard time with that
high
early
school. You may go. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to call Scotty. You're going to be the official Bleeding Burgundy podcast name pronouncer. So, what is this guy's name that we fired?
I'm going to say it's Brent Wieselmeyer.
Wieselmeyer.
Is that right?
Well, whether it's not or not, you are the official Bleeding Burgundy podcast name pronouncer. So that is now what it is. Wieselmeyer,
who became a defensive back coach after coaching high school football.
Yeah, it was high school, and exactly. Yeah,
I almost bet you that Jack hired him so that he could stand on the side.
He did, though. But he was He is Jack's mate, though. That is exactly why he was hired, John. So
We have matching armbands. Look at that. Very nice. So now that Jack's gone, fuck you, you MAGA asshole. You know what? We're gonna talk to Jerry from Big Dallas. Y'all can figure out who it is. I just have to be careful we don't say it so that Scott doesn't get sued because they have weird laws over there in Europe, and Jerry could come after him. But we're going to talk to Jerry. Jerry's going to call in. So if anybody has any questions for Jerry, please put them up in the chat so we can ignore them. But let's get on to the game yesterday. Was there anything in any way salvageable from yesterday's game? Did you take away any positives, Scott?
Yes, I did a little bit. And the only positive I could probably take from it is I think we have a running back one that we can build around in Brian Robinson. Sam had an okay game as well. It wasn't amazing, but at the same time, it wasn't terrible. So I think that we do have some building blocks that we can build around for 2024. But that is about it. Everybody else, heads on the block, mate. Not interested.
I, for the most part, like the way Sam played yesterday. You know, the kid is tough. He is tough. We had Jeff Ryan. Was it Ryan Bold on the
Jeff Ryan Bold,
the Bunker podcast? And for those who don't know who he is, he's he covers the NFL. He covers the NFL on Sky Sports Networks. He's also a CFL. Canadian Football League coach, you know, and he was telling us
big time special teams guy. He's mainly a special teams guy.
Yeah, we had a good conversation with him, and he was saying that, you know, what he would do is wrap Sam up in a bubble and not play him for the rest of the season and go forward with him. Otherwise, you know, I kind of disagree with that. You know, I see what he's saying. You know, if he was 100% the guy,
the
but there's a lot. There's a lot to you know, break down when you're talking about Sam Howell. But I think Sam had more ups than downs in that game. There was a couple times he held the ball too long, but I mainly blame play calling or for some of the faults yesterday. And Brian Robinson had a really good game, as well as our first 100-yard receiver of the year in Curtis Samuel. He had his best game as a Commander, you know, in the Washington uniform. So yes, there was some things to.
Do you bring him back next year?
It depends on what price. It depends on the price.
It can't be too.
You know,
I mean, he does get. You know,
he's making 10 mil right now. He's making 10 mil right now. Now, if we get him for 6 or 7 mil, possibly, yeah. But I think we need a big receiver. We need a big receiver.
So I was also I like Brian Robinson a lot because it's kind of cliche to say that the more you feed him, the stronger he gets, but he does. He gets a feel for the game and he really starts to get those legs churning. And, you know, he doesn't appear to be as big as he is. He's nice and he's fucking compact, man. And I mean, he's rangy, he's tall, but he's nothing but a solid muscle coming through there. But it's not a big one like Derrick Henry, so to speak. All right. He's not going to be bowling people. He's big, but I mean, he's not going to be running people over like that. He's got the ability.
Have a big one like Derrick Henry.
Oh, he's got a big one like Derrick Henry. You know, everybody can like point that out. But you know, the fact of the matter is, what I'm trying to say is, he's got good feet. When he gets inside, when he gets past that first level where he can break out just a little bit, and he gets into that traffic with those linebackers and safeties, he's got good feet to be able to make them miss. I'm going to yell at my dogs. Hang on a second.
Yeah, no, John's absolutely right about that. Brian Robinson, I think he's developed as the season goes, has gone along as well too.
And he's took up that that backfield role as well. He's adept with that as well now. He is very good in the back passing game.
Yeah,
very good in the passing game. Look, so I almost look at him as he's got the burst and speed of, you know, running backs we've had in the past, where, you know, when you look at Peterson and you think our AP when he was here, and if he could take that cut, he's gone. And he had that initial burst of speed. He's got that. He's got a bit of power about him as well to have dudes hanging off him. But he's also got that J.D. McKissick third down back where he's out at the flat and he's powering down the sidelines as well, which is great to see.
His long touchdown a couple of weeks ago. That's working for your quarterback, and not just working back to your quarterback, but working for a game. When Sam got on the outside like that, Robinson turned and started to run with him. up the sideline and was like, okay, we got something here. So I like that. He's got great instincts for the football game. Go ahead, Jesse. You got something to say?
Yeah, no, his running style is different, but the way he kind of hits the hole sometimes. I know we had a better offensive line back then, but Alfred Morris, if you guys kind of remember, one cutting up. I think Robinson has a little bit more power than Alf did too. But you do see some similarities. But I think Robinson can catch the ball out of the backfield a lot better than
I would love for somebody like Alf to take him aside and say, okay, look, once you make that one cut, you don't need to dance again. Make that one cut and go.
Yeah.
You know, that was the thing I loved most about Alfred Morris was, man, when he hit the second level, he laid his pads into the thigh of that fucking linebacker. And by the time the third quarter rolled around, that linebacker didn't want anything to do with him anymore. So I kind of like that kind of stuff. All right. So, Big Doug put this up on his Twitter feed, so we might as well just steal it straight from him since we're talking about this. So how many building blocks on offense do we have going forward?
Yeah, interesting. 2 for me.
2?
I mean, it depends on if you're keeping Sam or not.
I mean, this is it, you see. I mean, like you said before for many a week, Jesse, what you were saying, every single person is up for discussion. And I completely agree with that. I just think that you're probably looking at this and saying, well, for depth pieces, you're going to have the likes of Jahan Dotson, who, was a first-round pick last year. You'd like to think that Terry McLaurin stays because he's on a bigger contract. I don't know. It depends what your compensation and what you get for it is. But at the same time, I mean, Sam Howell is probably a definite that you're going to build round. Brian Robinson is definite that you're going to build round. And then Dotson and McLaurin, and that is pretty much it.
I'm going to say 100% 2. You got Robinson and Dotson. Because Sam's not 100% yet. It all depends on what this new regime wants to do. We're going to have a high.
National media seems to think so. They love him now, man. Everybody in the national media can't stop praising him.
We're going to have a high draft pick, and you have to. If you're a GM, you have to think about quarterback. You have to, no matter how good Sam plays the rest of the season, you have to think about it. Now, are we going to be in a position to get the likes of a Caleb Williams or a Drake May? I don't know.
See, thing is, I just can't put my fucking eggs in the basket that says, okay, Caleb Williams is going to be CJ Stroud.
I don't want him.
We have a bird in hand. We have a bird in hand.
We got one. Okay. If you're taking Sam's talent coming out of college and Caleb Williams' talent coming out of college, it's not close.
It doesn't make any difference. I'm talking about
what doesn't, but that's not how the NFL thinks, man. When it comes to quarterbacks,
I know, but this is one thing that we have disagreed on. Well, we've probably agreed, but I think that the way the NFL thinks on quarterbacks is fucking idiotic. I agree with true that you have to have one, but this notion that my God, how many generational talents are we going to hear about this fucking? Oh my God, they're over the top with these guys, and they fail like nobody's business.
Yeah, they outsmart themselves so many times.
Bird in hand.
That's why I kind of disagree with Brian Bold in the fact that Sam's got to keep playing. Sam's got to keep putting good film out there, because he is essentially not. And I had a rebut to him. I said, okay, well, think about this. I asked Jeff this question. I said, you have this team that's struggling right now. You have a new coordinator that's up and down. You have a 5th round quarterback that is playing his butt off, but is still there's times where he still has trouble. But then you have a high draft pick. I asked him. I said, if a new regime comes in, what do you do? Because they're going to want to look at the quarterbacks, and I believe he said, I don't blame him. I would too, but. You still have, quarterbacks are the hardest position to find in the NFL, which I 100% agree with. I don't know for sure if Sam's the guy or not, but he sure looks like there's a lot of promise in the build around him.
The thing for me about Sam is that the game is not too big for him. you can, when you say that, young quarterbacks, they make mistakes, they do. But the number of mistakes that he's made over the course of this season is a very low number in terms of actual mistakes that he's made that caused a big problem. He's had a couple of interceptions here and there, but
he's leading the league, I think.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is absolute mistakes that he threw that were just like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean to throw that one. Like last week, the first one against the Giants, he overthrew by 5 yards. Right? He's had some stinkers. But when you think about young quarterbacks over the course of the time you've been watching football, the number of mental mistakes that he makes is relatively few comparatively. All right. And that's the thing that I hang my hat on, his demeanor and his ability to overcome those kinds of things. Yesterday, he had a bad mistake. They almost picked him twice. And the last one, what's his name, did go break the record for
Bland. Yeah.
Bland. All right. Well, hang on a second. Sure.
Yeah, I just don't know how the new regime is going to think, and that's why as fans, if we want to keep Sam, he's just got to put the best tape out on the field, so it doesn't give them a choice. It doesn't even give them, shouldn't even have an option. You have it right in house, and
if you have an opportunity though to take Williams or this guy Penix up in Washington.
Yeah, Drake May's number 2.
Drake May, and then you've got CJ. Who's the other one? The one from Michigan. CJ somebody.
Yeah, but I think he's further down.
Michigan quarterbacks.
I don't know. They're saying that
Penix is number 3 right now.
Third. I thought they were saying he was third. McCarthy, is it?
Michigan quarterbacks. You can't win nothing with them.
I think he's called McCarthy. Michigan QB.
Anyway, the point is would you take
JJ McCarthy?
Let's say you're third. Yeah. Let's say you're picking third. All right, or fourth.
No,
fifth. All right, whatever. What's our number, Scott?
Fifth, I think.
Fifth. All right, so if we're picking fifth and one of those quarterbacks falls to us, okay.
Trade back.
Do you take him and then have both of them and see who you see what you have?
When you say
that to me is do that kind of thing, right?
Wasting a pick, man. It's
Like, okay, the Cowboys, they had Troy Aikman and Steve Pallor, who, even though he turned out to not be a very good pro, was a very highly touted quarterback coming out of college. The 49ers ended up with Joe Montana and Steve Young, for Christ's sakes, right?
Yep.
So, and that lasted a while. Steve Young, I think, sat on the bench for like 3 or 4 years, knowing he could play. It wasn't like he was a rookie. He came from the USFL after he broke that league and went to Tampa Bay and played for a little while. But do you do that here? It's kind of a different animal in that you only have a couple of years to decide.
Yeah, we got too many holes to fill to throw a dart to be like, all right, so here's a QB
competition. The failure we had at Chase Young at number 2.
Especially with the amount of failure, especially with the amount of quarterback failures they are, because chances are whoever you draft there as a QB is not going to work. I mean, the stats, statistics show that it's not going to be the guy, so why not keep Howell? And if there is a QB or a team that's drafting behind you,
that is exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, then you load up and take that. Load up, do everything, because you need to spend your top 1, 2, and 3 round picks on fucking offensive linemen. Period.
You hope so.
So for me, you're absolutely right, Jesse, in what you're saying there. I think if you are 5th and there is a team at 6th or even 7th,
who would be number? Who's 1 through 4? Carolina.
Okay, so let's go. So Carolina number 1. Chicago, they're not taking.
Carolina's not taking a quarterback. Chicago might.
Yes,
Chicago's going
Good
to.
show.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Carolina,
let's just
Chicago,
say. Let's just say Carolina. Let's just
Giants will.
Giants will. So there's 3.
Arizona.
A lot of money, man. To Daniel Jones.
Arizona. They're not probably going to take it. If they can get off Kyler Murray's contract, which is through till 2027, they might. But where are you trading him to? Now, I had this conversation in the airport with Scouse on the way over to the first game. I said, what would you do if Kyler Murray was traded
New England
in the offseason?
We're forgetting about New England, how bad they are. They are definitely.
They all need a quarterback.
They might be picking number 1 overall.
They're playing the Giants this weekend. Boy, that's going to be a barn burner. As in, you'd probably want to go down the street and watch your neighbor burn his barn and then watch that football game.
You got Tampa Bay.
So the fact of the matter
Arizona,
is,
the Rams. All these are going to be
quarterbacks probably going to be gone by 5. The top boys are going to be gone. So there's a lot of teams that are looking at a quarterback.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of teams are, but they'll want to. You've got to remember as well, there are 2 outstanding tackles in this class.
Carolina is
Joe
not going
Alt,
to be drafting a quarterback.
And what's the other fellow's name?
Yeah, Joe Alt is the other guy.
He's
I'm all in on him. I think. I don't know what the Penn State guy.
I see Carolina drafting Joe Alt in the first round.
Really,
if they stay at number one overall.
That would make sense.
If they stay at number one, because they're not drafting a quarterback.
I wouldn't mind Fashanu, except the fact that, look, I'm a Penn State fan, man, but God damn it, you can't beat Michigan. You can't beat Ohio State ever. All right, so listen. These are the teams that are vying for that top 10 picks right here. Okay, you ready? Arizona, the Rams, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, the Giants in Washington. Most of them need a quarterback.
6 of them quarterback.
Yeah.
Because they're 4 and 6 as well.
And who's the other one did you just say? I'm sorry, that kind of broke up.
Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Carolina,
Atlanta.
The Rams.
Oh. What would Atlanta do? You could
Arizona,
go with Whiting.
New York.
Six of them need a QB. Six of them need a QB at least. Yeah. So there is there. I mean, so you're talking Penix, May, Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy. That's 4.
Drake and then the Jaden Daniels, LSU guy.
There you go. That's 6. So that's 6 QBs, and then in probably the top 10.
Well, so Jaden Daniels, they said that no one would take him until like late first, early second.
Okay,
and you know we're going to take Marvin Harrison
in the second. And I want
that's what we're going to
do. There's one. So you got Brock, whatever his name is, the tight end.
Bowers. I swear to God, if we pick them, I'm going to smack the fucking whoever picks him, and whoever thinks that we should pick them should get smacked in the face.
We don't do so well, but boy, he is a stocky dude, man.
He's a stud. Okay, but listen. We neglected our offensive line for
years we got multiple picks though. We've got a little bit of a luxury there. I mean, I wouldn't say first round. You pick him in the top 5. Fuck that.
I'm seeing people saying that we should draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Shut up.
I know, but you know what? That's going to
be great.
People are going to love to look at that. Especially
what's the defensive end called from Alabama as well? The edge rusher.
Oh yeah, I can't think of the name on top of my head, but yeah,
I mean, Kool-Aid or something. He's called.
Not only do we need offensive linemen, but we need defensive ends too. That's second priority is defensive ends. You take offensive linemen and defensive ends, well before you take a fucking tight end, especially when we're in dire need like that. I just people who say I just can't take them seriously because they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They watch highlights. I mean, Bowers is very good.
He's great. He's great.
Good. And, it depends, right? Because the thing about it is when you think about tight ends that are taken high and early that actually manage to make that kind of a big difference on the team, the list is low.
I forgot Tennessee.
What did Gronkowski
3 and 7 too?
Picked? Just curious. I don't even know.
Gronk? Chop Robinson. That's his name.
42nd pick. Second round pick. Okay. Second round pick. So that's like for me, if we managed to, because we're going to have multiple picks. If we took an offensive lineman, a left tackle in the first round, and then we took Bowers in the second, and then another second round pick was used on an offensive lineman, I'd be all right with that. And at that point, you start to think about best player available for what, and you get these arguments about do you draft for need or do you draft BPA? Well, you know what? If you get the best player available for what you need, and we have a lot of needs,
I've always said you bet draft
edge. And linebacker.
I've always said you draft the best player possible at a position at need, 100%. And that's what teams do, man. They're that's like I don't. People, you just you draft the best player available no matter what. No, you don't do that.
Holes, yeah.
Okay, now if you were a Super Bowl Super Bowl contender year after year after year, well, guess what? You don't have any needs. They can do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. We don't have that luxury. We have to go after the left tackle. We have to draft the best left tackle available.
Absolutely,
because we need to.
And I also think that we should do what we did a few years ago when we drafted Montez Sweat and Dwayne Haskins. And I think we need to package up our picks and trade back into into the first round.
Be aggressive.
And Andy Lockhart, you're right.
He is
Bowers
a first-round
is a
pick.
first-round guy.
But it ain't going to be to us.
5. Not at 5.
And if it is to us, someone needs to shoot the fucking general manager.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because this is a podcast and it's out there for everybody to hear and see. And if anything does happen to the general manager, we won't want anybody to come looking at Jesse since he is wearing this hipster hat and looks a bit like an anarchist tonight.
Oh,
I would.
Why I'm wearing this hipster hat because I never thought that some people, I've even seen some people say they miss Scott Turner because the play calling is absolute.
Let's talk about the game
dog shit.
Yes,
let's talk about the game yesterday. All right, so I thought Dotson had a pretty good game, and I thought that Sam had a good game. And except, you know what?
Yeah.
The best plays that Sam made were off schedule again. He's taking broken plays and he's turning them into fucking chicken salad. So you're right. The play calling. I don't understand how it is that nobody in this team understands the clock. I don't get it. You know. I mean, I get it now that it's 2 minutes to go and we're down by 35, that we're running out the clock, and you can hear Charles Leno say on television, we're just trying to run out the clock. But you know what? When it's the early second half and you've still got a chance in the game, and why are you running the ball? Why are you running the ball?
Some of the decision making was just it baffled my head. Like, why are you trying to run the ball on fourth down?
All the time.
Fourth down.
You're lining up in shotgun.
We spread.
Third, and it's like third in like a quarter yard. It's like third inches
on a line that is just feasting. Dude, fucking Wiley was getting shoved back in it. How many times did you see the goddamn left defensive end, whoever it was, they stuck over there, it was multiple guys, at the handoff. They're at the fucking handoff, man. It's like, God damn it.
You're going to line up in shotgun.
But Wiley is like, where the hell are you, dude? The guy is there at the handoff.
You're going to line up in shotgun, 3rd and 1, and throw a bomb. That has not worked all season long.
He was open, though. He was open, and it
hasn't worked all season long. Not once. Nope. Not fucking once.
Sam has not been good on
You're going to call that play and then turn around, 4th and 1, and line up in shotgun again,
and then run it.
That is malfucking practice. Get the fuck out of here.
You gotta. That's the thing about Eric Bieniemy that baffles me is that, dude, you gotta look at the situation that's in front of you. He looks at like a manual. Okay, a manual says I can do this. No, dude, look at that defensive line. Look what they're doing to Andrew Wiley. I mean, I watched fucking Parsons pick up Andrew Wiley and Antonio Gibson and run them both right back into fucking Sam Howell.
If you're going to run up the gut, it's got to be quick hit. Not in.
And you got to get close. You've been playing the Eagles. Fucking do a goddamn tush push. Fucking do a Sam Sham or Sam Slam or what the fuck ever else you want to call it.
It's the dumbest thing that I'm just
drives me nuts.
People are still defending Eric Bieniemy. If he had an offensive line, fuck you. Okay, well, because good teams
do something about that offensive line. You saw what Sam rolled out yesterday, right?
Good play callers, they will scheme around bad offensive lines all the time. It happens all the time. Look, a couple years ago, I think it was the Chiefs' first Super Bowl. They had the worst offensive line in the league. And Pat Mahomes had all the fucking time in the goddamn world. Why? Because they schemed around it.
Yeah. But for me, it is like I said to you, you saw my tweet and you were laughing about it, and you're right. At least Scott Turner could scheme a wide receiver open. We're not seeing that.
Listen. How many times did y'all hear me scream about the receivers being wide open all the fucking time? All the time. You just didn't have a quarterback that could actually hit them.
Right. You know, and how many times, like last year, did I tell you if Heineke throws on time, he can play. The few times that he did, he could play. But Dotson got open yesterday pretty well. I thought that the bomb to Terry on that 3rd down was a good call because it was there. He was open. He had a step.
Was there. It just hasn't worked, man.
You're right. Sam has not been good on the deep throw. But that one, it was underthrown. And I mean, there was a little bit of ticky-tack pass interference, but that same thing it was the same thing that St. Dickhead got away with a couple of times, just pawing on the guy's arm. But you lay that ball out another foot, and we got the ball at the 5-yard line. So
if we go back to what happened on defense then, which was non-existent completely, just go and look at the reason why the changes happened today. If you watch the Brandon Cooks,
they were over there on the sideline doing they were doing paper scissors rock. Who gets the next?
Yeah, but it was embarrassing the fact that throughout the middle of the field there was nothing, like literally nothing.
Tony Romo
and
was
then he just
shit out.
Yeah, I know it was. But then he threw the ball to Cooks, and Cooks he's catching it 20 yards out. And then walking into the end zone, and there's not a single cornerback, defensive back, nothing, no safety anywhere near him, untouched into the end zone.
You gotta wonder what that guy Fleischer, whatever his name is, was teaching him.
I don't know what I don't know where I saw this from, and it was somebody on Twitter, but it's funny, so I'm using it from now on. Saint Toast, because the motherfucker gets burnt all the time.
Burnt. He gets burnt all the time. You're right. And yesterday, it was as if they okay, here we go. That meant I see number 25. That's where we're going. Here we go. Oh God, it really, I was like Deron Payne, just get in there and punch him in the mouth. Take the 15 yards. I don't care. After the ball's gone, stick your hand up under his face mask and tell him to shut up.
Does this team have to pay Kendall Fuller again?
No.
Because
yes, it does.
Do we really? I just don't. I don't see the sense of keeping St. Juice. I don't.
No, there's really not. St. Juice and yesterday every once in a while he makes a play and he does that. Yesterday, dude, you're getting roasted. And then there was a play that ended up, he managed to break it up. He's on the ground, dude. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I put a tweet out there in the game. I said EB's play call, or I forget what it was. Maybe it's something to do with the defense. No, it had something with St. Juice. I said, I'm sick of people telling you. I said, you keep telling yourselves that St. Juice is good. He's not. Our buddy Eddie tweeted me back. He says, yeah, except for one play a game where he does that stupid arm thing. And as soon as he tweeted me,
there he did
that play happened where he fucking made one play the whole entire game. And sure enough, he does that stupid fucking arm twist. Says he's locking him down, which is.
You ain't locking down shit. They're fucking looking right at you, buddy. You are the first, second, and third target. Okay, there you are. We're going right at you. And I'm going to go ahead and give Scouts the credit for this, Saint Ghost, because that's a pretty good nickname for him because he just is not there. And yeah, man, don't do the lockdown anymore. You are not locked down. You are target number one. You want to do anything? Do a target. I'm a target.
Did you see the Opta Stats tweet though? That was right out there. So entering today, NFL teams were combined 57-0 over the last 25 seasons when had a game of 100 plus rushing yards, a 250 plus passing yards, 35 minutes of time of possession, and no more than 25 penalty yards and no more than one turnover. Commanders did that all today and lost by 35.
Lost by 35. I tell you what, that's something. All right, so we got a couple of things we need to get to here. So let's do some real quick true and false. We'll do some quick true and false. All right, I only have two of them for you guys. So we'll start off with Jessy. Jessy, Jack Del Rio's gone. Franz Fippelstufen is gone as well. I don't know what his name was, but he's gone too. So
Wesselmeyer,
he is gone. All right, so true or false? The defense will be better.
I'm gonna say true because it can't get worse.
Oh wow.
Well, that's just. I mean, it can't get worse, but will it be better? Or will it just just turn wheels?
I think
Ron's taking over.
A tick better.
A tick better. Okay. All right. So, all right. That brings us to this one. Scott, true or false? At this juncture of the season, we have 6 interceptions and 6 fumble recoveries. Over the next 5 games, we will equal one of those stats.
I'd say true.
True. We're getting six more picks or 6 more fumble recoveries.
Well, we are playing.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to think.
Okay, why not? Fuck it. Well, we're playing Tua Tagovailoa, right? We've got
there's possibly one there.
They got Matt Stafford.
Boom.
Right. We got Dak Prescott again.
Boom.
Here we go. Who else you got?
Brock Purdy. Boom.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. You can always throw a pick.
Boom.
Bum, he says. All right, so, you're down for at least 6 more turnovers one way or the other.
Yeah. I think you can get 6 more turnovers.
Fuck no, we ain't.
You don't know how to call it turnovers.
No way.
Turnovers is something you get at the
Not
big.
in this.
We might get two the rest of the
right.
year.
Apple
We might get two the
turnovers,
rest of the year.
Well, not picks. I mean, like fumble
Turnovers,
recoveries.
fumble recoveries, or
Yeah.
interceptions.
Fumble recoveries happen all the time. It could be a fucking muffed punt. You don't know. You know what I mean? There's lots goes on. Fumble recoveries are there all the time. There's 3 fumble recoveries in the first half of the bloody Jets game today. So
That was a bloody Jets game. Did you see the referee get punched? Dude got in the middle of the scrum there, man. Came out all bloodied up.
But you're right, Lockhart. You are absolutely right, Scouse. Skinsdy is bum. Yeah, you're right. He's right. Yeah. We are terrible.
There we go. All right. Okay, so just making sure I got the phone hooked up properly. We're going to go ahead and give our friend Jerry Jones a call and see what he's celebrating this weekend. So if anybody in the chat's got any questions for Jerry Jones, feel free to ask him now so that we can just say, nah, we're not going to bother with him. So let's see. Hello.
Jerry.
Hey, god dang right, boys. I've been waiting to hear from y'all. I ain't heard from y'all goddamn season.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. We usually don't, play you this late in the season for the first game, but
it doesn't make any difference. You boys were all thinking that Eric Bieniemy was going to be able to send y'all over the top. Y'all were feeling pretty proud about things, and now you come down to Dallas, and what did happen?
Well, we got our ass kicked.
God damn right. Say it loud and proud for the people over in Austin, because they can't hear
nothing. Jerry, do you think Dak is having an MVP caliber season?
I'm going to tell you something right now. The only thing that I think will keep Dak out of the winner's circle of the MVP voting is that stupid cadence he's got here. Here we go. I don't know who told him to say that, but it was making me crazy yesterday on the game. And, the only thing that was making it good is practically every time he said it, whatever we did worked. So, that kind of helps the medicine go down a little bit better. But, yeah, I'm thinking that Dak Prescott is definitely looking at an MVP. He's looking at a Super Bowl MVP. He's looking at a Super Bowl championship. And I'm looking at a whole warehouse full of Dak Prescott T-shirts and jerseys that are ready to be going out this door for Christmas time. So go ahead and go on over to cowboyshop.com and put in the goddamn promo code turkey leg and get yourself a big old Dak Prescott gift box. There you go. Hot dang, what you got?
Right on.
What do you think there, Mr. Jesse? You think that Dak Prescott looks like an MVP to you?
No, I don't. I
what
think,
the hell do you know, you hairy bastards? I'm telling you, I don't even know why I talk to you hillbillies. It's almost like something I got to do just to make my sister feel happy.
Yeah, I think your counterpart over in great state of Texas is looking pretty good right now. I don't know if a rookie will be able to get the MVP, but yeah, I think Stroud is looking good.
Let me tell you something. You know what? Houston could not hold my balls. If I gave them one of them and said, here, I'll hold this one for you.
Jerry, do you have what do you have in store for the playoffs? Because it's obviously that you guys are going, but as we know in the past, that once you get in, you usually have a early exit.
Well, I'll tell you something. We got a plan in place for that this year because what we end up doing is we end up finding ourselves stuck over with a lot of merchandise. So we're going to go ahead and blow it all out right after Christmas to make sure that we're not holding on to too much when it comes down to playoff time. Because even though I think Dak Prescott's going to go to the Super Bowl, and even though I think he's going to hoist up that Lombardi trophy, and that he's going to have a Super Bowl MVP, and he's going to be the MVP of the league, it's just as easily likely that he's going to fuck it up in the first game and send us home. So I just want to make sure that my bases are covered. And I think in the playoffs, what you're going to see is my man, GB Lamb. He's going to do himself a big old favor there, get himself going. And Tony Pollard, he's going to get himself going because let me tell you, if I'm paying him and Rico Dowdle, that's not going to happen. I've learned my lesson with that goddamn shit with running backs. So you best get going there, Tony.
Yeah, we love old DB Lamb. We've got a question for one of our listeners. Our buddy,
get out of here. You have listeners.
We got listeners. Our buddy Hunter asks, "Are you having? Did you have Dan Snyder over for Thanksgiving this year?"
No.
What about next year?
No, I'm going to say this right out in public right now. Dan and I were friends while he was in the league, but the last time he came over my house, I hadn't got the goddamn urine smell out of that room ever since. So I'm not having Dan over to the house. The last time we had him there for dinner, he was drinking yellow wine, and I just thought that was a bit creepy, all things considered. So no, Dan's a little piss pot. I don't like it, and frankly, I'm getting rid of all the rubber sheets that I had to buy for the times that he did come over. I don't want to have that in my house anymore, and especially out on my ship. And if I see him on the high seas, I got me a cannon now. I got a cannon now. I can sink him.
I want to switch gears here for a little bit and talk about that halftime performance.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Well, Jerry, Dolly had stayed at home in her old folks' home because that performance was pretty fucking cringe, if you ask me.
Listen, I got to tell you something. I have been waiting for 50 years to get Dolly in that goddamn costume. I tried to put it on her back in 1976, and she didn't want to have nothing to do with it. She told me I was a dirty old man and to get away from her. And boy, it took a long time. But you know something? Women are all the same. Eventually, you're gonna wear them down. So I had her out there in that Dallas Cowboys uniform, prancing around on that stage like I imagined way back in the 70s. And I'm just telling you this. I'm not going to tell you which garment she gave me after the show. However, I'm not going to wash it. Man, I had me some dreams back in the day of Dolly and those big old boobies and a couple of pints of margarine, and I can't believe it's not butter, but oh my God, I was going to have me some fun. That was a fabulous show. I'm just glad America got to see America's grandma out there prancing around on the stage in those tight little shorts.
Well, we appreciate it. Scott, you got any questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple for Jerry there. So I thought that Dolly was wearing the
from Arizona
Cowboys. I thought she was wearing the Cowboys uniform as a tribute to the last time you won the Super Bowl. But
that's a funny joke that's going around. But I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you something right now about Dolly. The best thing about Dolly has always been her tits, and I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. And even though she was 78 years old, a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader uniform can help you defy gravity. The only thing I'm going to say that's kind of taking away the fantasy for me is all that plastic surgery she's had. My God, I'm going to have to pry that mouth open with a goddamn crowbar. And it takes away the fun. I don't want to hear anything like that. But I will blow the dust off of that old starfish she's got. Oh, Dolly, you do it for me.
I got a bit of a question that's kind of an off the ball question, but I'll ask you anyway.
Go right ahead. I mean, Jesus, what else are we talking about here?
What do you think is the biggest animal that you could kill with your bare hands?
Oh, well, let's see. I've choked the chicken quite a few times. That goes without saying.
I thought you would say that, Jerry.
Yeah, I killed a walrus one time. That's for sure.
Wow.
I did. I killed a walrus one time. I was high on some mescaline. I found myself out in the middle of the goddamn ocean on my boat. There was nothing around. I think it was a walrus. He was either that or the big fat head waiter that we had in the galley down there. I haven't seen him since, but he was kind of bucktooth. I don't know. I was not in my right mind at that time. It was when the Cowboys weren't doing so good, and I used to drown my sorrows in mescaline and tequila. And before you know it, people tell me, "Hey, you killed a walrus." I thought, "Oh my God."
We got one more question from our listeners. Did Wade Phillips ever find his way back to you, or do you think that was that Twinkie was his last ever?
I got to tell you, when I say I killed a walrus, that means I got rid of Wade Phillips. It's basically what it boils right down to. I told Wade, listen, Wade, I like you and all, but unless you can tell me the color of your shoes, you're fired. And boy, he was beside himself with that. He said, "I think they're white, sir." And I said, "No, sir, they're black. Get on out of here." And that was that. I don't know if Wade's ever found that Twinkie or not. I would suggest he probably has. I think Wade could sniff out a Twinkie probably through a gold mine if you had to. You could probably throw one down a well and Wade would go find it.
All right, Jerry, we appreciate your time, and we're going to see you in a few weeks.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope y'all have a halftime show as good as the one that I gave you, because I heard Cher was on TV yesterday too. Now that's another one, boy. Let me tell you, just dust that thing right off and let me hear her screaming. Ooh. Jerry out.
Jerry Jones, everybody. Dallas Cowboy owner. It's nice for him to spend some quality time with us old podcasters.
Jerry's a fun guy. Jerry's a fun guy. He is a fun guy. You know why Jerry never gets in trouble? Because Jerry doesn't give a shit. Jerry just says, "Fuck it, I'll get me a blowjob in the truck stop toilet. Fuck it, here's a picture." And people, what are you going to say to him, right? When you try to cover things up, you get in trouble. All right, so are we going to do some butt pats and some head slaps? Or whatever?
I want to talk about the Dolly Parton thing for a real quick,
please. Let's talk about Dolly
serious
Parton.
Conversation. Like, were y'all? I mean, I was embarrassed
That was
for her.
fucking cringy. Yes.
Like I was,
She was lip syncing the entire time.
She was trying to hold like her teeth, her false teeth up in her mouth the whole fucking
She was like a
time.
marionette. And I mean, not only that, but dude, she's holding on because these shoes, she's trying not to fall off her shoes. When they pulled back and you could see her legs, it's like, okay, this is somebody's grandma. This is somebody's great grandma. I mean, all respect to Dolly Parton. I think she's wonderful. She's a fantastic human being. She had a great career.
She should.
Nobody needs to see you in tights, lady. Good Lord.
She shouldn't have been out there. I mean, I thought she was going to fall off that fucking stage.
Put her in a big bell gown that accentuates her two best attributes and let her lip sync to that. Although I'll tell you what, I think she was lip syncing, but in stadiums it's hard because when they make the sound, it doesn't come but a couple of seconds later, So you get a lot of people, they can't sing in stadiums because
they have a she has a earpiece.
She's got a hearing aid anyway. Now, the question I have for you is this. The first game, who the fuck was that at halftime? What the fuck was that?
Some dumb
I have no idea.
I don't know what the hell that was. I think it was, and now, Mr. Ford's nephew. They put the guy out there, and I'm sure there's some younger people going, "Oh, he's whoever." Well, let me tell you something. As much and popular as it is, rap really doesn't work in a stadium, man. It just doesn't work in a stadium.
It's trash,
especially on Thanksgiving when you're talking about, "I'll be fucking your girl and smacking her ass," and dude, who gives a fuck? Get the fuck out of here and shut the fuck up. Let me write me another song about me. I'm gonna talk about me for a while, y'all mind? I got a whole album about me. Me.
On Dolly, I mean, why are you singing "We Are the Champions"? Freddie Mercury
and doing it backwards too. Both everybody knows you're gonna do that. You're gonna do this combination of two songs. Do it the fucking right way.
That's right.
I mean, don't do it
correct.
Backwards. It's disrespectful to Queen.
Well,
exactly right.
Although I guarantee you, Freddie Mercury would have looked better in that goddamn outfit than she did.
Probably would.
My goodness. The fact of the matter is, I never like those kinds of halftime shows anyway because they're always so fucking cheesy. There's every once in a while they do something halfway decent when they let somebody actually play their instruments, but for the most part, that was like a puppet show to me. They were like, okay, let's just trot Dolly out here, and you see these people with the signs in the crowd. I'm here for Dolly. I bet you they showed them afterwards. They were like, what the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, was she wearing that? Oh my God.
Oh, I got lit up by old Shelley.
Why?
If you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say it at all.
Well, I don't think it's mean to say that.
All I said was she was lip syncing. That's all I wrote.
Look,
our good buddy Andy Burrows is in the national newspapers.
Yes,
he was in the Star. That's right, or the Sun.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's funnier than shit. Now look,
check out this.
Want me to be nice? I'll tell you what. She's 78. I'd motorboat her. That's right. I just one time just give Dolly the.
All right, so I just got this tweet from CBS Sports PR.
Public relations of CBS Sports.
NFL on CBS delivers a massive audience on Thanksgiving with 41,438,000 viewers. It's the third most watched game, Cowboys and Commanders, in it's third most watched regular season game in
the Super Bowl era
on any program. No, I'm sorry. The Cowboys ass kicking. This is what it says word for word. Not really. Right. The Cowboys ass kicking over the Commanders is the most watched program on any network since the Super Bowl. What is that? 42.
Way to go, Ron.
Wow.
Way to go,
Ron. Third most watched regular season game in the NFL history.
Wow.
This is the most streamed game ever. So we got just
everybody
mortifyingly embarrassed on the national stage
in every possible media that there is. I'm surprised.
And then we wonder why. We wonder why this changes today. I mean, we wanted changes, obviously, but
too late.
It's
just too late. It's 6 weeks too late, at least. I mean, you should have changed him after the Bears game if you're going to change it. But I just don't understand why Ron would look at. I don't think Ron did. Did you see Josh Harris? They showed Josh Harris and his daughter on his shoulder, like, "Oh my God, Daddy!" Like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Jesus Christ, get her off the screen. It looks bad." But
one thing I do want to say about that though is, did you see the statement? And if you read into the statement itself from Harris, obviously it's quite damning.
Statement. It is, but in there, and me and Andy talked about this. In that statement, it's kind of saying like, me and Ron will evaluate the stuff on the off season.
Don't even say that.
Well, that is exactly what it says.
Yeah, like him and like insinuated that Ron was still going to be here. I don't think that's the case, but I just the way it's worded.
They will give you an engineering degree in 4 years, and we can't figure out how to run man or goddamn zone. All right, we're still learning after 4 years. What the fuck are we learning after 4 years? Jesus, Ron, this is the kind of stuff that drives me absolutely bonkers. Is that I understand that you don't want to say anything, it's coach speak and all that shit like that, but those are the kinds of things that just look at us fans and go, you know what, just fuck you, and fuck you for even giving a shit. Because what are you saying to me there? We're still learning. What the fuck are you still learning? How to get your ass kicked by fucking 5 touchdowns in the front of the biggest audience that the fucking TV can produce? That's what we learned today, kids. How to get our ass kicked in front of millions and millions of people.
Do you think the EB throwing his headset off and his play sheet down and shouting at Del Rio and Del Rio squaring up to him and players getting involved, John Allen getting involved, do you think that's kind of also led to it? Because Ron did not want to talk about that in the post presser at all.
No. Yeah, he shouldn't have either. I mean,
I know he was right, and he was right not to talk about it. But at the same time, the writing's on the wall. Then, isn't it? It's completely when you've lost it on the sideline. The writing is on the wall. Then, what I don't want to see as well. I mean, we're getting to head smacks and butt pats. What I don't want to see is this from John Allen. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. Try to G up the players. I don't think you believe in the words that are coming out of your mouth.
He doesn't believe
alone trying to get him to do it. Yeah,
I will say this for EB.
This team sucks.
I will say this for EB. I'm not as down on him as Jessy is. I think he's been up and down, but he has every right to turn around and look at Jack Del Rio and go, "What the fuck, man? How the fuck am I ever supposed to get anything going if I'm constantly down by fucking 5 touchdowns? What the fuck? Can you stop anything? Look, the red zone for our team, for our defense, begins at their 40. That's where the red zone starts. Yeah. It's crazy. All right, let's do some butt pats and head smacks. Butt pats.
Let's do that.
Head smacks. Get out of here. All right, we'll start on offense. Go ahead, Jessy. Give us a butt pat for offense.
Brian Robinson Jr.
Attaboy. Yeah, you got to. We got to give him a nickname. The train. I like the train, but we can't. Is a freight train? Is he the freight train?
I mean, run that train, baby.
Run that train.
Run that train.
That sounds kind of bad. God damn, Dolly. Why don't you step on up
Choo-choo.
The Cowboys fucked us all day yesterday. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. 100%.
That could be the name of our defense.
That was a gangbang yesterday.
Gang, bang, gang. That's our new team. All right, so I do kind of, to anybody that's out there that's paying attention, I do kind of like putting the train somewhere in his nickname because I think he earns it. When he comes around those left tackle, or when he comes off that off tackle run, man, I can see it. That chugga, chugga, chug. Here he comes. All right, Scotty, give me a butt pat for offense.
I'm going to let you take Curtis Samuel, so I'll take Jahan Dotson. Dotson had a decent enough game.
Dotson did have a pretty good game, I thought. And yeah, I will take Curtis Samuel. Attaboy. He had a damn good football game.
Templars put bulletproof. Wow.
What did he say?
That's a nickname for B-Rob. Wow.
Bulletproof? Oh, stop it. That's not bad, though. That's not bad.
Show, sir.
Fucking bulletproof. That's not bad. Go get him. The bullet train.
Wow.
All right, so let me see here. Any other butt pats for offense? You got anybody?
No, anybody at all? MetLife just took another high-profile player. Who was it?
MetLife.
That's Achilles went out on Jalen Phillips, Dolphins linebacker.
I want to watch this back. I want to watch this back.
Dolphins game?
Yeah, I want to watch it back. Yeah.
Oh, I ain't gonna tell you the score. I won't tell you the score. I'm just saying.
I'll take your mind off it, Scott.
All right, yeah, head smacks. Oh yeah, number one head smack goes to Eric Bieniemy.
Eric Bieniemy. Let me find my head smack. Get out of here. Yeah, dude, you got to have a better fucking. Even at the goal line. All right, at the goal line, we run a fucking option. We run a college boy option play, and Sam got in and scored. But Jesus Christ, man. Do we not understand how to do a dive? Do we not know how to do a fucking dive? How do we do this on short yards all the time? You said it earlier, Scott. Shotgun on short yards drives me crazy. Dude, you got 1 yard to get. Why are you backing up 5 more? What the fuck are you doing? And our handoffs from the shotgun, dude, Sam just stands there and turns around. There's no mesh. There's nothing. He just stands there and turns around.
But Sam has to learn another offense. He's an NFL quarterback. They can learn another. He can learn it. It's fine. It's perfect.
The thing that kills me. He's learned 2 in the last 2 years, so I guess 3 is just one too many. Oh my God, his brain is going to explode now. That's the way they play. Scott, give me a head smack.
I will go the entire offensive line, but I'll break it down individually and say, Wiley, my God, you were awful. You were absolutely awful.
Yeah, I'll keep going on that, and I'm gonna say that Chris Paul, you were bad yesterday. You were not good.
Terrible.
Thomas,
Big Charles coming back. I bet.
Logan Thomas, dude. When you look into film and you realize that you're allowed to block people, you are going to hate yourself. That dude, I watched him yesterday more times than he made a good block. He got in the way of the runner and knocked him down. Like, God damn it, what the hell are you doing? So I'm going to give one to go ahead, Logan Thomas. Jesse, who you got? Get out of
here. The rest of the offensive line, I guess.
Yeah,
everybody twice. That's everybody twice. Scott, you got anybody left? Because I got one left.
I'm gonna go Terry. You got to catch that ball, man. You got to catch that ball. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, he doesn't get open. Oh, how can you expect him not to get 100 yards?" Is he genuinely now? I'm questioning. Are you it?
Dude, he was
because you open, dude.
He was open on that third one. But
I'm gonna say this: Terry McLaurin is not an elite receiver. He's good.
He's very good,
but he's not elite.
He's not up there with Jefferson and those
guys.
If
he had a better scheme, i.e., Turner's passing scheme.
Shit, Jay Gruden's passing scheme.
That too. Flying, boy. I can guarantee you he'd be open because he was open all of last year. He was always open last year.
So what happens if the new regime hires Jay Gruden as the offensive coordinator? I'd be kind of happy. Jay can scheme.
There's nothing. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with Gruden's offense. Yeah, hell yeah.
He had himself a lot of bad luck there.
Well, I'll come on to that in a minute, John.
We drafted a guard.
I'll park that.
All right, so I was going to
come on to that in a minute.
My one head smack was also going to be Terry. Terry, dude, if you're going to be our number one receiver, step up, man, do it. All right, take over a game. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. He's due for one of those nice 140-yard 2-touchdown games, but dude, you just haven't been able to produce it. And I saw today Keim had that some players were kind of grumbling that they want Ron to take back some of Bieniemy's power, and I'm wondering who that is. And look, when you're yelling at people. When you're fucking acting like Bieniemy acts, that fire that we all saw in training camp and all this, we heard all about how he gets on them, but it's all tough love and all this stuff like that. Well, you know what? Unless you're producing, they don't fucking follow that shit. If you produce, if they're coming up, if Terry's coming up with 200 yards every other week, 150 yards here, 2 touchdowns. If he's got 10 touchdowns so far this year, he ain't probably going to have a problem with you yelling if it comes down to it. Of course, he's not going to be yelling as much, but this is the thing, man. When we talk about Eric Bieniemy going up to head coach, all right, for one, at this point, you can't do anything now. And for two, 14 teams have turned him down. And we're now hearing our own team saying we want Ron, who we know is a failure, to take back some of the power that you gave this guy. I'm curious as to how much what that power is. What does it allow him to do?
He has total control of the offense, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. But shouldn't the offensive coordinator have total control of the offense?
Not in all cases, no.
I don't see why not. That's what his job.
He doesn't. I mean, they don't. I mean, they control like calling the plays, but they don't control necessarily control like every single minute detail like Eric Bieniemy does.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Where are we going over to defense?
And he also has that assistant head coach title too. So
it's true.
Right. But see, again, I don't know what that actually entails. Does that mean, is he, what does it give him? A little more power? What is this power? What does it allow him to do?
It's more money. It's more money, John.
It's money. Yeah. But that doesn't affect anything in terms of how the players are going to receive him.
Oh, no. But
Yeah. I think, 14 teams turned him down. I'm going to keep pushing at that and saying, look, there's a reason why. And I'm curious if maybe we're not going to start to see why, even if he's had a,
because he uses platitudes and he talks in fucking riddles. All I ever hear out of him is at the end of the day when it's all said and done, we'll do this. It's the same as the coaching speak that you talk about all the time. Yeah. I just
for the press, though, I don't mind coaching.
Bye. Not interested. Move on.
How he talks to the team is what I'm thinking. Go ahead, Jesse.
You got Dan Campbell. Sorry, you got Dan Campbell coming out and saying, "Yeah, I fucked up on a fake field goal. My fault. Sorry about that." Where's the accountability in this entire organization? There's no accountability. There's nothing, and that's why people are getting fired. That's why Ron is going to go at the end of the season, because it's all right having the great culture, but you can't have a great culture when you're not accountable for what you're doing. We're all accountable at work. We're all accountable in our day-to-day lives. We've all got families. We've all got, people who we need to take care of, whatever. We're accountable at all times. How can you not be accountable in a sports team when we're paying people serious amounts of money? And that's the thing that annoys. Exactly. That's the thing that annoys me is like Ron's getting $8 million a year, whatever it is. Jack Del Rio's probably been on, I don't know, he's probably earned $12 million in the 4 years he's been at. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He's probably going to go back into the media. He's not interested. He's whatever. And this is it, you see. And now it's like, well, I don't really care. What do you want to do about Thanksgiving on a Thursday? What do you think about this game going in? Well, we get a couple of extra days off.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Ron. Is that where we are? Is that genuinely where we are? Honestly, come on now.
The thing about it with me, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
It's all right. No, it's okay. All right. So, what kind of defense do you got?
Go on, Jesse. You go.
Nobody.
It's your show.
That's right. Attaboy, Jesse. Fuck them. Nobody earned a goddamn butt pat all damn day. Weren't you just glad to see Cody Barton back?
Right. And whose fucking bright idea was it to, after the guy has the greatest game of his fucking career, to get 0 snaps?
Yep, agreed.
Not one snap.
Where was David Mayo? I was actually thinking David Mayo would be better than Cody Barton was.
He proved himself better. Barton is not good. And I mean, he was good with Seattle, but it's interesting to see what'll happen now, to see how they change, because that's the thing about the Jack Del Rio that had me so pissed off all the time.
I think the defense, and
they don't put him in position to win.
That's what we should talk. Well, I know we're already at the hour, but the defense, I think, is going to be more cut and dry. It's either going to be fucking 100%. Zone or man. Like, there's not going to be the zone match.
True.
Even though we've been playing primarily man for some stupid ass reason.
Fuck it.
For the past 4 games. I think it's just going to be more cut and dry, because Rivera is taking over all the defensive play calling duties. And it was interesting what I heard.
I think he's gone to somebody else, hasn't he?
No.
He's promoted someone into the
role. Promoted the defensive backs coach, some guy.
That's
Lopez,
right.
I think
it's something else, but Ron's making the calls though. Like
Ron will be the defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, he said, I won't be doing the day-to-day going around and going to meetings, to all the meetings. I will be strictly on the defense, and Eric will be strictly offense.
It's too late, but thanks. This is the thing about Ron that drives me absolutely crazy. Dude, you should have known this. I think it was Scott I was chatting with this morning. Scott mentioned, at the end of last year or in the offseason, when somebody asked him about any changes in the coaching staff, he got all pissed off. He got all animated about it. Well, dude, look what your goddamn defensive coordinator did. He's having a ball. He doesn't give a shit. So anyway, let's see. What do we got left? We got any head smacks on defense? Yes, we do. Scott, go ahead. Do you have any butt pats, by the way, on defense?
I mean, Templar was right there. Hunter was right. He said you could possibly give I'll give not a can kick or a half pat to Payne. Payne was okay.
Attaboy.
Nah,
not good enough. Not for what you're
enough.
All right, head smack on defense. Everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Benjamin St. Just.
Everybody. Cam
I mean,
Curl.
the thing that pisses me off even more is they just can't get off a block. Like, what are you doing?
That's
to not be able to get off a block.
We have never gotten off a block with Jack Del Rio. That's why I always say when we blitz, we run right into the fucking block. It's almost as if he teaches them, go in there and take out the blocker. The fucking dude, go get the quarterback. We run right into them. It drives me absolutely bonkers the way that they play defense out there. You could say Jamin Davis, fucking bust. Go ahead and say it. That dude's a goddamn bust. Oh, our highest rated defender. Big deal.
That doesn't surprise me.
Saying that was the best masturbation I ever had. Fucking A. What the hell good is that? Anyway, Scott, go ahead.
So it's Richard. So looking back, it was Richard Rodgers who is and Christian Garcia. They're promoting Garcia up to the full-time defensive backs coach.
Yeah.
So they're going to split the time between the two of them with Ron, is what he said in his like little 7-minute presser today. But yeah, everyone gets a head smack on defense. Abysmal back end. It is. Where were the DBs? We already spoke about it.
They don't know what the hell they're doing.
It's like every time Pollard crossed the line of scrimmage, we were there, but he carried everybody like 6 yards after contact.
Did Dak Prescott even have a smidgen of dirt on his jersey? No. Because that has to be
the cleanest
jersey.
Dude, what did you think about
I think he had 2 pressures all game.
What do you think about the turkey leg in the bowl?
Yeah, that pissed me off as well. That's disrespectful.
It's supposed to be a fucking disrespectful. Man. You're not allowed to do that shit. Remember when Joe Horn got the fucking Sharpie out from underneath he got the phone out and T.O. got the Sharpie out, right?
The T.O. Sharpie was in his sock though, I think.
That's right. But then hold on a minute. Did Tyreek Hill not get fined like $10,000 for getting a selfie stick out?
I don't know. He probably they'll fine him for anything, and they should fine Dak for that. But still, man, that's just I don't know. That's low class. Rub it.
Yeah, I thought it was low class as well. But
look, it's football. You know what? You don't want them to rub your face in the dirt, then get your fucking face out of the dirt. That's the way I see it. We earned
Butler. Scouse is right. Butler, horrible. Kaliki Hudson, you're not a linebacker. This is the reason why you've been on a practice squad for so long. You've had an opportunity this year to come and step it up. You are terrible. Cody Barton, terrible. Jamin Davis, awful.
Bad.
Burnt toast. Why are you on a wide receiver most of the time in that scheme? Why are you there? Always on a wide receiver.
You're not asking him. He doesn't know. Jack fucking does that kind of shit.
You ever see
Jack's over on the sideline with his tablet yelling at Jamin Davis. But dude, this was your first round pick.
Correct.
That was a first round pick, man.
Yeah.
You can't teach the son of a bitch how to play basic fundamental football in 3 years.
Just abysmal. I mean, St. Juice is the one that, we all know we need to move
definitely
on from.
Regress.
Terrible. Zero pressure from any of the ends at all. I mean, the thing that pissed me off even more is when you're on 3rd and 5 and they run the ball and then you get it. They get 17.
They can do whatever the hell they want.
Hold on a minute. There was one penalty. I watched it earlier. I think it was in the second quarter. They got a penalty. I can't remember what the penalty was for, and they converted. It was like they were on 2nd and 20 or something stupid, and then they got a penalty, and they declined the penalty, which was the 10 yards, to make it to go back to 3rd yards because they just gained 17. I was like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Just every time
they were having a ball.
They were getting carved up, but I honestly think they were in 2nd, 3rd gear. I don't think they even got out of 3rd gear. And the other thing with it, John, is you look at that game and you think to yourself, Dallas are a B team. They're not in the top tier. But they're smoking people at home. Yeah. But they're not a good side. They're not an amazing top tier side.
They're a very
we got absolutely battered.
Their defense puts points on the board, and that always helps you. They've got and their wide receivers I'll hand it to Prescott. This year he's been playing within himself rather than trying to go outside of what he can do. He's been, and I hate to use the cliche, taking what the defenses have been giving him, but he does, and then it opens up. And he's got some decent receivers. Cooks is a good guy. He's a good receiver.
Question for you both, though, to finish off is: do you go for a offensive-minded head coach coming up, or are you a defensive-minded head coach?
Depends on who it is.
Offense
is what I'd prefer, but it depends on who it is. They bring me Brian
Jim
Flores.
Harbaugh. I don't think Flores is a good head coach. I don't want him as head coach. I want him as defensive coordinator.
Jim will go to Chicago because he's
Jim will go to wherever the money's the most.
I suppose. For me, Lou Anarumo from Cincinnati. Could get him in. Very good. He'll be on that coaching tree. He'll be on the block to see who comes in. I think we're probably going to get about a third.
I'm over the defensive minded head coach. No,
like I said, it depends on who it is. But I mean, like this the defensive coordinator down in Dallas, he's going to be coming up as head coach. Pretty hot prospect.
Yeah. He was a terrible head coach at Atlanta.
Terrible head coach of the Falcons.
They had the worst collapse in the Super Bowl, but he took them to the Super Bowl, and they were up 28-3 at one point.
He also had Matt Ryan as a QB too.
Well, Matt Ryan is, whatever. That's fucking Phillip Rivers, East Coast, as far as I'm concerned. So, all right, then. All right, so we're not going to be here tomorrow because we did our picks the other day, and I'm already out of money because my fucking picks blew up in my face yesterday. Yeah, I picked the Lions. Jesus Christ, that was my big bet of the week.
We all picked the Lions, I think.
Yeah, but that was my big bet of the week.
I'm never betting on the Lions again.
Fuck the Lions. So, and Monday we won't be here because we won't have a Commanders game. So we will see you guys next Friday when we will preview the Miami Dolphins and how bad Tyreek Hill is going to beat our ass.
He's going for 400 fucking yards.
He's already got 3 receptions. Motherfucker, he just finished with his other game. He's already got 3 receptions.
You seen that tweet I sent out here with the cheetah running and then the guy out of Happy Gilmore? This David Mayo, yeah.
Right. All right. The best thing about that tweet, that tweet is Richard Keel. That's who that was, right? He's Jaws and all the 007 movies.
He's dead now, I think.
Yeah, he's dead now. In that cliff, he's not even running. They got him on a cart. He's just going like this because he's too fucking big to run. And I think he was in Pale Rider too. So
he was.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you guys. Anybody got anything left that we want to talk about with anybody? Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. Just real quick.
Ooh.
The Rivera at defensive coordinator dynamic. Do you guys think now that he's probably gonna simplify it?
How much more simple can it be? We're gonna stay in man all day.
Well, even though they stayed in man, they still were running that stupid scheme where the goddamn safeties were supposed to take over. It was stupid. Do you think honestly think the defense will get any better?
I think that they will.
But yeah, a little bit.
They'll be better. I think that they'll be more solid. Look, I'll tell you what, the defense yesterday kept it at 20-10 for a long time.
They were in the game till into the third quarter. Yeah.
The fact that we kept seeing their punter, wow, we're seeing their punter. That's amazing. Yeah. In the third quarter, they kept 3, to punt.
And Dak didn't help the situation. He was inaccurate the first half.
Yeah, he was. He had 3 touchdowns he left on the field that were easy touchdowns that he missed. Look, I think that they will. They like Ron. I don't think that they liked playing for Jack Del Rio. I think that when Jonathan Allen would say I'm tired of this shit, he was talking about Jack Del Rio's scheme that was not letting him play. So I think that they will play a little bit better for Ron.
I just want them to blitz just blitz every play. Fuck
go hit a quarterback. Just touch one.
And let's Sam.
What are we now? The 30th ranked defense out of 32. Can't get much worse.
Not 32.
Happy Thanksgiving, JDR. We really appreciate you, buddy. All right, then. We'll see you guys in a week and a half. Everybody be good. Or not.